Whether you're watching, listening or reading this, welcome back to the Runpreneur vlog, where we're on a mission to raise £1 million for children's charities by run vlogging on consecutive days the distance of one lap around the world. It is a staggering 40,075 kilometres. It's going to take somewhere in the region of 11 years to accomplish, so plenty of time to raise that money. I will commit to running a minimum of 5 kilometres every day, and I'll even do it barefoot style. Now, it's a beautiful morning today. It's very cold. It's about 2 degrees, but the sun is out and it's not too breezy. So hopefully it's the start of spring that we've been craving so badly. And it is Wednesday Wellbeing today, where we talk about all things mindset, mental health, mental well-being. And today's topic is, let's cargo past. Today's topic is the 6 ways that running can help your mental health. So as always, please give this challenge some support by subscribing and giving it a like, and let's get started. So, running and mental health, how are they linked together? How do they help one another? Well, mental health has become so much more in the main limelight recently, where it's getting a lot more exposure to the importance of protecting it, especially when you start coming through a global pandemic like we are still going through, but hopefully are on the home straight now. Now, the impact that this has had on people's mental health is staggering, and it's something that finally is getting more attention and more focus than it needs. There's lots of great charities now that are really helping in this area and kind of drive research, drive support further to help people, because previously I think mental health has been misunderstood, and it's and you know, I'm not here today to tell you on how to, well, I'm not here to tell you how to kind of prevent mental health, but what I'm here to do is to tell you how 6 proven ways that running has proven to help your mental health. If you understand these, you may choose to start running. And when I say running, the information I'm going to talk to you about is specifically about how running helps your mental health. However, I'm fairly sure it would be similar in other, endurance or cardiovascular activity. So it wouldn't just necessarily revolve around running here, but obviously it's kind of what I do, so I can kind of resonate and relate to it a bit more. So, what I'll do is I'll take you through the 6 different ways that scientific research has proven running helps your mental health, and then I'll go through them in detail, and then I'll go through examples of how it's helped me as an individual, and then hopefully we'll summarise it with why you should consider introducing something like running into your routine to try and improve and prevent yourself from having mental health related challenges further down the line. So, point number 1, I mean, for starters, this information has come from Sigma, which are a health insurance company, but they put a lot of money behind a research project into running and mental health. I think it's similar to what Vitality do, where they'll promote, give you an Apple Watch to try and promote regular exercise within your regime, to obviously minimise the impact of you claiming on your health insurance when something goes wrong. And I think that's what this research study was about. So this is where the information has come from. But I'll go through it in a quite high level, because there's a lot of scientific stuff in there, which, to be honest, I'm not too familiar with, but I do know the high level points, and I can kind of take you through them one at a time. So number 1 is running is proven to improve your ability to manage stress. Okay, now I talk about this vlog, and I vlog about entrepreneurship and running, and most importantly, how the 2 topics combined can help you overcome the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety by using exercise as a release mechanism. So this first one is super poignant to me, and there's evidence out there that suggests that running, when you run and when you exercise, it kind of boosts some hormones in your brain, which is the the hormone that helps you manage stress more effectively. Because stress, when it happens, some people just snap and just go and just have to release in a quite a vocal and aggressive manner. Other people bottle it up, but it's your ability to process stress and clear your head and gain clarity on what's happening. And this hormone that exercise, and especially running, has proven to increase. It helps your ability to manage your stress levels. So number 2 is the sun vitamin D. Okay, so this is obviously caveated, you have to run in the sun and not when it's night time. But the importance of running in the sun, again, it infuses positivity. It gives you the vital vitamin D, which is often so many of us have lacked over lockdown, where we've been caught staying in the house for far too long. So having that sun gene or sun vitamin, which is commonly known as, when you're out and about running, it just really gives you a huge increase in positivity. Let's go past someone. Morning.
Morning. Come on.
A huge increase in positivity and gets you that vital vitamin that so many people are lacking in current days. So just the sun when you're running like today, I mean, you can't, even though it's chilly, you can't help but feel happy and positive, and that's exactly what the sun does for people. It's a really strong positive driver in so many people's lives. And when you're out running, you get the positivity of the exercise, then as well as the sun, it's almost like a double whammy. So really, really, really good one. Number 3, anxiety. Okay, again, this links with what I vlog about and how exercise helps you manage the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety. Anxiety is a couple of steps further on than managing stress. I always talk about the evolution of managing the daily stresses or weekly stresses that you have. If you don't process what's going on, clear your head, move on, then those stresses will build and build and build until you're completely overwhelmed. You've got so many things floating around your head. Okay, now when you get to overwhelm, you almost have a seizure and you freeze and you panic, and that's when you start drifting into the realms of anxiety and panic, which is where you're really truly flirting with the edges of mental health challenges, which is something that obviously we want to avoid. Now, running is proven to prevent anxiety by providing a calmer environment, and the way it does that is that if you're running, I mean, look, I'm running in nature. I know that a lot of people run in the cities and stuff, which is nowhere near as calming, but there's often parks and greenery that you can find somewhere. But running today, out in the nature, running over little streams and trees, the sun's out, it's clean air. It just creates this really tranquil, calm environment. I'm not hammering the pace, I'm just poodling along at a nice steady pace. And it just creates this really nice, calming environment. And the important word here is calm. If you can keep your mind in a calmer state, it allows you to pull away from the dreaded panic. If you've got a continuum, you've got calm on one end of the continuum, you've got panic on the other. And we're kind of promoting this calm environment by running that will stay with you throughout the day, preventing you from drifting into panic and anxiety. So again, a really, really, really strong reason to start introducing something like running out in the nature, which can really, really promote that level of calmness that can really, really help you. So the next one is a brain boost. Okay, now this is a strange one. I wasn't aware of this one. I was aware of all the others, but I wasn't overly aware of this one. That there's proven evidence, scientific evidence, that says that running and cardiovascular activity out in the open helps the generation of brain cells. Okay, so technically, the more you run, the more intelligent you should become. I don't think it's quite as clear cut as that, and although there is scientific evidence to produce it to support this, I wouldn't say that run every day and you're going to be a genius. I don't think it's like that. It just helps the development of certain brain cells, which allow your cognitive function to enhance, and I think that's ultimately what it's coming to. There's also links in how it can slow the development of cognitive disorders like Alzheimer's, dementia, etc. It's not going to prevent them, but it will slow because of this ability to enhance your cognitive function. So I'm not saying it's going to make you a genius, but marginal gains and all that maybe all this running will give me a very teeny tiny margin of gain in intelligence and cognitive function. But either way, it's certainly a really big positive for why you should run. Okay, the next one is productivity boost. Now, I've done a lot of vlogs on this already in terms of how it can help enhance your productivity, and I link this very much so to kind of energy levels throughout the day, and people have lulls and peaks of energy, okay, and it's about doing the complex activities when you have high level of energy, or the most important activities in your day at those stages. And when you're at your lulls, either doing something to give you a pick-me-up, like caffeine can help, or in particular running is what I use every single day to kind of spearhead my productivity, and because it picks me up from this kind of energy lull. Now, some people are morning people, some people are evening people. I'm definitely an evening person. I struggle in the mornings. I get up, I just feel really slow and lethargic. It's really, really hard to get me going. Now, historically, that could linger on right the way into lunchtime and onwards. I've almost lost half a day just from being in this state of tiredness. And I don't think it's tiredness, I get plenty of sleep. But since incorporating this kind of running vlog into my world every day, between 8:30 and 9 generally, I'm out doing at least 7 kilometers a day. And I come back, I feel recharged, energized, and I'm straight into it. So I may not start work till kind of 10 o'clock time, but I've managed to get my exercise in, which I would always have encompassed or tried to encompass at some point throughout the day. I've got that out of the way, I'm boosted, and my productivity levels are high, and I get cracking at 10 a.m. and I really start in a productive fashion, which is so important. And just to evidence this personally, you know, in the last 11 months of doing this running vlog, I've made more progress than I have done in all facets of my life than I have done in the previous 4 to 5 years. So hopefully there's social proof that this stuff really works. So, you know, even a brisk walk or running or whatever, getting out in the open, you know, opening your lungs, elevating your heart rate is proven to boost productivity, and there's loads and loads of scientific evidence that supports this. So if this is the only one that you use, then it's an amazing, it's impacted me so much so over the past year. And the final one is it enhances your creativity. Okay, so again, this isn't so much mental health, but I've talked about, you know, the ability to kind of drift into a dream world, let ideas kind of come to fruition when you're running, because you're focusing on running, your mind can't really cope with focusing on anything too complex. You can multitask, but it's really, really difficult. I mean, I listen to audiobooks and things whilst running, but you don't ever going to have exactly the same attention levels when you're multitasking if you're doing something independently, which is why it's a great time to let your mind free, release it, and let it become creative, let it explore different ideas. The number of things I think about, even when I'm vlogging, my mind's whirring in the background, thinking about things, and I think, oh, I've talked about something there, and I remember to voice note it or tell the video editor who edits these episodes to log it for me so I don't miss it. But some of my best ideas comes when I'm out in the open and just running naturally. So that's the kind of 6 main ways that running has proven to help your mental health. So it's mental well-being. So hopefully this has been really useful. I've given some examples. I mean, I've got examples on all of these. I mean, if we go back to the beginning, stress, you know, I've lost stress and anxiety. Let's do point 1 and point 3 together. I mean, historically, I've lost businesses, business partners. I've almost been bankrupt because of my inability to control these emotions. And as I said, there's no coincidence in the past, you know, 11 months of doing this running vlog, which is my exercise or release mechanism to clear my head, process what's going on in the world, and gain clarity, refocus, and move on. Without that process, you know, I'd really struggle. And I've made more progress in the last 11 months than I have done in the previous 4 to 5 years. So, and that's through my ability to manage stress, overwhelm, and anxiety at a much higher level than previously. So number 2, the sunshine vitamin D. I've felt healthier. Someone told me I was aging like a fine wine the other day, so that's a really nice compliment to have. I'm not a young man anymore. I'm approaching 40 in kind of 10 months time, and I feel I'm in the best shape of my life. I feel I have good colour to my skin, and I feel good. And a lot of that's coming from getting the vitamin D that I was previously not getting because I wasn't going out enough. And especially through lockdown, running has really, really benefited me in that way. And like I say, there are a few things in life that are, for me, are better than getting out in the countryside in the sun and having a slow, enjoyable run. So that one's really helped me. Number 4, I think we talked about productivity and creativity are the last 2. So productivity and creativity, I've already explained how more productive I've been in the last year of doing this, and I've also touched base on some of my best ideas, so much so that I've got 8 businesses I'm running simultaneously at the moment, which is amazing, and a lot of that's come from ideas I've had when I'm out running. So hopefully the when there is giving you, when this has happened to me and when it's helped me, these examples are helping you and giving you reasons to think about doing this yourself. And the final section is the why. Why you should do it. Well, I've given you 6 amazing reasons why you should consider incorporating running or some form of cardiovascular exercise into your life, and it can benefit you in so many different ways, like it has done for me. I'm a different person. There's so much positivity I get, and you'll notice that I haven't barely touched on the physical aspects of running. And I always say that 80% of the positives of running comes mentally to me. So hopefully that's similar to others as well. You get obviously a huge number of physical exercise orientated benefits as well. So hope this has been useful. Get involved. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how running has benefited you in a positive way, or any exercise has benefited you in a positive way. So all I have to say is that if you have any questions on this, drop me a comment. I'll respond to everyone. If it's a bigger topic, I'll do a separate vlog episode and I'll tag you in. Do check the links on my bios where you can keep up to date on my mission to raise £1 million for children's charities by run blogging on consecutive days, a distance of 1 lap around the world. And you can also access all my content, which is nice and neatly stored in all sorts of different formats, and it should be very easy to navigate by topic to find relevant information. And as always, my content I vlog about entrepreneurship and running is most importantly how it links with helping people overcome the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety by using exercise, or in my case run vlogging, as a release mechanism to manage and process and clear your head of those daily pressures that we experience every day in the form of stress. Having that process to clear your head, understand what's going on, gain clarity and refocus and move on is so important. And if you don't have that, it can end up being like pressure building in a pipe without a release valve. That pressure is going to build and build and build. If you don't relieve the stresses, they'll evolve into overwhelm. Overwhelm is when you almost you freeze, you have a kind of a seizure, and you drift into the world of procrastination. And then if you don't deal with overwhelm at that stage, you will then start panicking and being anxious and struggling with anxiety, and then you're flirting with the edges of mental health issues, which clearly we want to avoid. Now, there's no coincidence that in the last 11 months of doing this running vlog, I've made more progress in all facets of my life than I've done in the previous 4 to 5 years. So it shows that this stuff really works. And if you don't do it, in the analogy of that pressure building up in a pipe, the pipe will burst, and ultimately you'll end up having a mental breakdown, which is clearly something we want to avoid. So I've been there. I've lost multiple businesses, business partners, and I've almost been bankrupt because of this. And believe you me, I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. So much so that I'm giving everyone an olive branch now, that if you are struggling with this, drop me a message, okay? There's no catch at all here. The Runpreneur vlog is not for profit, okay? There's no sale associated. Yes, we do raise money for children's charities, but donations will always be optional and never be sales based in any way, shape or form. So help is available. It is free. You just have to reach out and we'll jump on a call. I'll give you a step-by-step guide on how we can get you back on the right path. I know this stuff works because I've helped in hundreds of different people now over the years with this topic. So hopefully I can add you to my list if you need it. So that's all for me today. As always, check out the links in my bio to keep up to date with my challenge. And as I'll leave you with always is, stay positive, stay happy. I'll see you tomorrow.